Welcome back to the Boozy Bookworm. Today we will be reviewing White Hot Kiss by Jennifer Ella Armentrout. To go with our book of the evening or day, depending on when you're watching this, is Casillero del Diablo, which is a Carmenere. I don't know. It's not a regular wine, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I really like it. And the back says it's like pretty, chocolate coffee and blackberries and raspberries. So basically it's everything that you like in a wine. And also apparently the devil. Layla is an 18-year-old girl. And she goes to high school and she's like most other high schoolers except for one big thing. She is part warden and part demon. And I know that you're like, you probably have a lot of questions because so did I. So I guess I will explain those. A warden is like this pure spirited good thing that is basically a gargoyle. That's what as humans know them as. But in this world, they fight demons and send them back to hell. And so they're called wardens. I don't know why, but that's what they're called. And so Layla is half that and half demon. So an interesting combination. And the other really weird thing about Layla is she can see people's souls, and that's because she is part demon. And so she can see the aura of people's souls. So naturally, the darker the soul, the worse the human. The lighter the soul, the better the human. So the wardens, all these gargoyles that, fun fact, she lives with, all have like these bright, pure white souls. And everyone else usually has like a shade of like pink or blue, sometimes maybe green. And then the really bad eggs have like red swirled in there, or maybe some black, maybe purple. Again, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm overdoing it. Anyway, she can see souls. And the other really important thing about Layla is because she can see souls and because she's part demon, if she were to kiss anyone, she would suck the soul out of them, causing them to become a wraith, which is basically a spirit that is trapped between hell and heaven and can go nowhere and is therefore very angry and very upset all of the time. So she can't kiss anyone as a 17-year-old girl. I'm sure you can figure out where this is going. Layla lives with wardens. And there's a whole clan, but basically Abbott is the leader, and he's like this fierce, very stern, fatherly figure, but like doesn't really, he accepts Layla, but like doesn't fully, he's tough on her, rightfully so, because she's half demon, which is what they are supposed to kill, so he's not entirely trusting. And then there is Zane, who's a couple years older than Layla, and he is this gorgeous, like, blonde, blue-eyed gargoyle who is hot shit. And they live together, and so naturally, Layla struggles a little bit because she's got a crush on Zane, but he has the purest of pure souls, and so there can't really ever be anything between them because if anything were to happen, she would suck his life force out and kill him. So Layla goes to high school, not because she has to, but because she chooses to, because what else is she gonna do in her day? Not much. And so she has these friends, Stacy and Sam, and Stacy is like this super awesome, but also boy crazy girl. I guess that's not different from any other high school girl, if we're being honest. They're all boy crazy, but at any rate. And then this guy, Sam, and he's like this nerdy, knows a bunch of fun facts, which I personally, I appreciate that because I love fun facts. Who the heck doesn't love fun facts? But he's like a wealth of knowledge and kind of nerdy. But he has a huge crush on He has a huge crush on Stacy, and Stacy's like not really noticing him because the guys she's more interested in are the ones you could like wash your clothes on their abs. All is well in Layla's life, being part demon, part warden. She's tagging demons, which essentially just she'll like touch a demon that she finds, and it like puts on like a neon sign for the wardens to come and like send back to hell. And so she's doing that. She's feeling great about herself. She goes down an alley and finds what she thinks is a poser demon, which honestly I can't remember the specifics, but it's fine. Anyway, it's a type of demon. She goes and she thinks she can handle it and tag it and whatever. And then this upper level demon shows up. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but in case it's not, it's a demon that's higher up there, meaning that it's harder to kill, has better powers, has all sorts of things working in its favor, and Layla does not have the ability to cope with that. So the upper level demon takes out the lower level demon, what she thought was a poser, and then he's like, where are you going? And she's like, out of here. And so she books it, and so she leaves and whatever. Layla is in bio class when all of a sudden, there is a new boy in school. And wouldn't you know, it's the same upper level demon that saved her, but also wasn't trying to save her. We'll never know. And his name is Roth. And so naturally, how these books start with the whole, I don't like him. He's the exact opposite of me. He's my sworn enemy. I could never love him. So life continues on. Roth is like, hey, you should totally believe me and stuff, and I'm just trying to be a good guy. But meanwhile, he's being like this totally suave, super charming bad boy that obviously we as readers can all appreciate. But anyway, shit is starting to get wild because all sorts of demon stuff is happening, and the wardens are like, maybe you should stop tagging. And she's like, no, it's the only thing that makes me good. Things progress as they tend to. Layla and Roth get a little extra close, and things start to get a little spicy. But not all the way spicy, because she's a high school student. She has moral fibers somewhere in her that, keep things from going too far, like a good girl. But things are hitting the fan. And so Roth and Layla are going to try to go for the key, which is something that will keep the apocalypse from happening. And so they're going to go after it. And in order for Layla to get away from Zane and the other gargoyle wardens, she's like, I'm staying at Stacy's. Which, as a teenage girl, bye mom, dad, I'm staying at Stacy's. I didn't have a dad, so I didn't have to lie to two parents, just one. Just the one. I didn't have to lie to her either. But that's another story for another time. Anyway, she goes and stays at Roth's place, which is where they get to third base. Then they go to find the key. Only all of a sudden the wardens show up, which is no bueno for either party because Roth thinks that Layla set him up. And Layla's like, she knows she didn't do that. But she's also in deep shit because she's not supposed to be working with a demon, especially, oh, by the way, Roth is the crown prince of hell. So he's not just any demon. And did I say that Layla's mom is the Lilith? Like the Lilith in all of the biblical stories. And Lilith is trapped in hell, chained, and she's going nowhere. But there are a lot of people that want to break her out of hell because obviously hell's not a great place, but honestly it sounds warm, and that would be nice right about now because I'm freezing my tits off, but it's fine. Layla gets, I guess, kidnapped by this demon named Payman, and Payman kidnaps her to complete the ritual because the only way to free Lilith is to spill both Lilith's blood, which is in the ring on the necklace that Layla wears, and to spill the blood of her child, which Layla is Lilith's child, so she's gonna spill blood and a bunch of other things. Layla's virtue is supposed to be ruined, but it's kind of up in the air whether it has to be completely taken or if she just has to have an orgasm, which she has. So, but anyway, that happens. The whole battle scene comes up. Layla is tied to a pentagram to the floor. There are a bunch of demons surrounding her. Payman's there, and they are trying to spill her blood. So one of them cuts her and a little bit of her blood spills, but then in comes Roth and Zane and a bunch of people to save her, right? Great. Maybe a little too late. They are trying to send Payman back to the hell underworld, and that's a little difficult to do, but Zane is holding Payman to the ground and is going to send him back. But here's the thing, is Zane would go with him. And so Layla's like, no, I love him. He's like my brother, but I love him. Roth sees us and he's like, no, I got you, bro. Throws Zane out of the way. He pins Payman, and then all of it ends. Payman and Roth go to the underworld, to hell. And on his way out, Roth says, I lost myself the moment I found you. If your heart doesn't go from like this to like, there's something wrong with you. You should probably get it checked out. And it's over. And Layla's like, I loved him. Like, I loved him. That's what you get for being indecisive. That's kind of where the book ends. So now it is time for the breakdown. Cover design is going to get a 4.5 because there's a lot going on here. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Roth has tattoos, which are also familiars. And by familiars, I mean they are tattoos that are in the form of animals that can come to life and be actual animals. So one of his familiars is a snake. His snake's name is Bambi. So there's a bunch of snake skin. That's cool. Also, there's a bunch of flames because he's a demon from hell. And like, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Characters are 4.5 because you have Roth, who is this like sexy, dark bad boy, and we all love that. You have Zane, who's like this good boy who's also attractive, but he's a good boy, like whatever, bye. Layla, who's like this half good, half bad. Stacy's super cool. There's a bunch of good characters in this. Plot is a 5, and I'm not gonna lie to you, plot is a 5 mainly because this is the first book I have ever read that is about words are hard, and that's the truth. Gargoyles. I don't think gargoyles have ever been sexualized. Not that gargoyles are the whole plot, because there's also demons and all sorts of other stuff, but ending is a 4.5 because it's hard, you know? Roth gets sent to the pits of hell in place of Zane, and Layla really loved Roth. She didn't say it yet, but she did, and we all know she did, so like, it's whatever. And that's tough to deal with, so it's a 4.5. Book drop is a 4.5 because it could be either when Layla shifts for the first time and finds out that she's like this weird gargoyle demon mix when she shifts, and so she's like pretty cool. Or it could be when Roth decides he's going to send himself to the pits of hell instead of Zane. So that means White Hot Kiss gets a 4.6 out of 5. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned till next time. Stay boozy, my friends.